Hey y'all, welcome back to the Jeff Mullen Plumbing YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be showing you guys how we install the reverse osmosis filtration system underneath your kitchen sink. The model we're going to be dealing with specifically is made by the brand NorthStar, and it is the NSROPS4 unit. We'll open up the box, show you all what comes in it. I'll try to explain a bit how we install the unit itself, some of the benefits of it, and hopefully you guys will be able to buy this and with the help of this YouTube video install it at home without having to get a plumber involved. So I'd say this unit costs us about $350 to $400 after tax to get, so you should be able to find it for something similar, and hopefully, again, like I said, use this YouTube video and install it yourself at home. So here's Mike. He's going to show you guys kind of, he's opening the box, pulling some stuff out. You got a faucet, storage tank, some miscellaneous parts. Here he's got the cover for the actual filters, and he's pulling out those filters right now. You'll see we're going to get that mounted underneath the kitchen sink eventually and get this whole system hooked up together. So follow along here. I do also want to note, when installing a reverse osmosis system, it is recommended that you have a water softener installed as well. Reason being is that a water softener helps get rid of your water hardness, which contains things when you have hard water like calcium and magnesium. And when you have excess amounts of these, it can tend to clog up the membranes or the filters in this reverse osmosis system, which means you're going to be going through parts more often and quite literally not going to have as pure of water. So in this house, they already had a water softener installed, so what you're seeing is basically us capping off and cutting the old kitchen cold water line that was on hard water, and we are actually tying it back into the soft water line that was capped off nearby. So that's what that was. And then basically here you can see from the bottom there was those kind of knockout plugs that we were drilling a pilot hole through the center of, so we know where to drill down for the RO faucet to be installed. And the difference here between, say, an RO faucet and some other filtration systems is that this actually is going to be its own separate tap here. The reverse osmosis system isn't going to make the water coming out of your main kitchen sink filtered. However, this tap that we are going to install, its own little mini faucet, is going to be a place where it is going to be pure water, and you're going to use that for drinking water, for filling up your dog bowls, for watering plants, whatever you may please. So, yeah, that's kind of what that is. And here you can see that we're drilling a hole in the countertop or in the sink. You know, we're not exactly experts at that, so depending on the material you're trying to drill through, I would maybe reference another video or some expert in drilling through countertops. So yeah, here we are. Mike's kind of pulling out the faucet that we're going to be installing, and he'll show you kind of some of the parts and how the mechanisms work for mounting the faucet. And guys, it'll make more sense when everything's installed and as the video goes on. Just understand that it's not the easiest thing to get good footage sometimes with work like this. I mean, imagine two grown men trying to fit underneath a kitchen sink cabinet while one records and one is putting stuff in. That is what was happening here, and I know the picture in your head ain't pretty, but we did our best. We'll try to show you, and I'll try to explain things to you the best we can as we go forward. Here in just a moment, you're going to see Mike install both this red and black tubing on the bottom of the faucet. It's not something that you necessarily have to do at this point in the process. We just chose that it is easier to connect it on the faucet side now and set the faucet in place, and then connect it to the filters and the drain, etc. later. So yeah, this red tubing that he's putting on is a smaller size than the black tubing, so it will go on the smaller shank, and that will actually connect into the filter system that you will see eventually, and the black tube will actually tap into the drain, and you'll see us drill into it, and it is what will discharge the different materials and contents that the filtration system is disposing of. Which also kind of leads me to my next point, and I'm going to read this kind of directly almost from the NorthStar manual so you can just hear what exactly their system is supposed to reduce. So it's supposed to help get rid of chlorine, taste, and odor, sediment, cis, lead, chemicals, total dissolved solids, PFAs, which they refer to as forever chemicals, bacterias, and viruses. So this next part you see Mike putting on right here is actually going to be what connects the main water line. It's going to be where the water is fed from to the faucet that will then connect into the system. So you can see him screwing it on here. It's kind of just for show. He's actually going to take it back off here right before he goes to install it, and you'll see that he screws it on later, and we do show a clip of that, so you will see it when it is installed. So basically, yeah, just feed your stuff in through the hole. We're going to set our faucet, and then essentially you just tighten it from the bottom and make sure it's lined up how we want it. This is that view from below here, so you can kind of see what it looked like if you need to deposit there. So basically, he's going to take that chrome plate now, and he's going to slip it on there. Make sure he's straight on his faucet. You always got to make sure before you tighten it that the handle is where you want it to be. And in this case, we oriented it like this, just the way the handle is. And he's just going to take some mini channel locks. And again, he's in this back corner working behind the sink, so it's hard to see. But he's essentially just tightening the nut at the bottom of all that. That is going to then snug the mounting bracket up to the bottom of the sink and hold the faucet in place. So here's a little video of it now all hooked up afterwards. And then again, like I mentioned before, he's going to thread on that little piece. And this is what the main blue water line that came in the box is going to push into. So that's what it looks like once threaded on. And again, you could put some pipe dope. Isn't necessarily recommended, or as we call it, pipe dope, but it's pipe sealant. Isn't necessarily recommended when dealing with plastic fittings, but I would recommend putting some maybe Teflon tape on your threads before screwing that on. So here you can see Mike is just going to push the main blue water line up in there, and with these fittings, basically you just give them a push up in, and you'll see me give it a little tug here. And that's how you know the line is secured in there. So now this little black piece is actually what is going to go onto the shutoff valve. So don't forget, otherwise you're going to have yourselves a mess. Always make sure you turn off the shutoff valve before disconnecting your kitchen sink line. Open it up, make sure nothing else needs drained out. And then here you're going to see Mike basically just remove the cold supply line from the kitchen faucet so that we can put this part on. Clean it up a little bit, and again, you can always pipe dope or pipe seal or use pipe sealant, or like it's recommended, Teflon tape is always a good option too. So there's one side on this that can basically thread on to the 3/8 shutoff. So he's just going to twist it and turn it until it's secure in place where we want it. Just for reference to this cold line that he's messing with is the same one that you saw us down below earlier in this video, changing from a hard water line over to the soft water line. So he's got that about snug there where we want it. And basically the kitchen sink water line that you had just seen him disconnect, you reconnect on the top, and now where the little T is, you can see that there's now room for the water line that is going to go to the filtration system and then up to the new RO faucet. That green water line, again, just going to shove it on in there. Whenever you do that, I always like to give it a little tug just to make sure you know it's in there. And then I know it looks like a mess right now, guys, but we're just going to wrap up some of these lines, get them all set where we need them back there, and then we will cut them, run them to where they need to go, and kind of make it look a little neater. Right now you see Mike just measuring the back side of that mounting bracket where these screws are going to go, and he's kind of just showing you here how exactly it's going to hold. Basically, we're going to screw these into the side of the cabinet. That way we can just slide these filters right on. So here he's going to measure his 9 inches on the center. Bust out a level, I believe. He's going to measure off the bottom cabinet. Sometimes your bottom of your sink cabinet might not be level, so that might not always work. There we go. I'd always recommend using a level just to double check and make sure you're all good. Drill those mounting screws with their brackets in. And And boom, fits like a glove, baby. Double check that you're level and all good, and we can start hooking things up. You can kind of see where Mike's pointing. There's several different spots where you're going to tie in some of that tubing, and the tubing is color-coded to the different spots that you're actually going to plug it into. So here's going to be red to red. Mike's going to kind of set the filters in place a little bit and see where exactly he needs to cut that line so there's not a bunch of slack. And you can leave the slack if you want. It just makes for a nightmare and a mess underneath the kitchen sink, especially if you're trying to store stuff there. So here you see Mike using our tubing cutters to cut it down, and then you really don't want any burrs on that, so just make sure it's cleaned up, a nice smooth flat piece. And what's nice about working with fittings like these is that you just plug, stuff your pipe in there, and you're good to go.
That's it?
Yep. Alright, so red is now connected to red. Here, I know the video, it looks black right there when my shadow's covering it, but that is a green washer right there. So we'll pull out the plug. We'll grab our green tubing that is actually connected into the shutoff valve. This is the main water line supplying the filtration system. And again, just repeat the process. Cut it down where we need it. Get rid of the slack and stuff it in. And again, repeat the same process. Pull out the plug, blue to blue. And this is the main water line that actually feeds from the filtration system up to the RO faucet.
And if we want, we can put a strap here.
Okay. Alright, so now what you see here is the pressure tank or storage reservoir. It kind of acts as both. We're going to throw some Teflon tape around it, and we're going to throw the valve that you're going to see Mike pull out here in just a second on as well. And we'll thread it on tight and just get it set in place. This tank basically acts as a reservoir to store some of the filtered water. Because otherwise it filters on demand and it doesn't quite keep up. So that's why they send you with a reservoir tank and a pressure tank. It kind of acts as both. It has a bladder inside it that will help pressurize the faucet, but it also will store purified water. So here we'll go yellow to yellow. Make sure it holds. And that right there, guys, is just a little stand to hold the pressure tank in place. I do want to warn, too, when you're dealing with this fitting right here that Mike's holding it from and that black piece we put on the shutoff valve, they are just plastic, so be careful not to over-tighten them. You don't want to crank them. They will crack and break. And here he's showing you there's another spot for the yellow to yellow. And he actually looks like he undid it from the pressure tank side just to plug it in there first, and then he'll run it over to it. Like I said, guys, there's many different ways you can do this. This is just the process that we're doing. So feel free to connect them however you want. At the end of the day, as long as you get the matching color to matching color, it's pretty simple.
Come this way.
Just kind of struggling to get in there a little bit. And there we go. You can see, push, give it the little tug, all good. So here you'll want to drill. This is the drain assembly. I had mentioned earlier briefly that basically these RO systems actually drain out the contents of which they're disposing. So we're going to tap this little saddle valve into our main plastic drain. So depending on what filtration system you guys get or install, this size hole could be different. I believe it is a 3/8 hole that we drill. So he's kind of just marking out. And again, you don't really even need to mark this out that much if you want. Just drill your hole, and at the end of the day, your saddle valve just needs to line up on it. Perfect. Now we just need to clean up the burrs. Mike's got his little reamer out. He's going to make sure he gets just the rough edges all cleaned up. And here, guys, on that part he's holding there, you see there were some silver nuts in there. Those did come loose, and essentially you just shove them into the slots on that piece. And they pop into place. So here's where you just really want to make sure that you're lined up on that hole. And you're going to see Mike, he's going to grab on whether it's his pencil or his screwdriver. He's going to kind of actually shove it in the hole to line it up and make sure that he's on the point that he needs to be. And then really all you do is secure down the screws and make sure it's tight. If you see there, he's using his screwdriver and actually pushing it into the hole and through the hole we drilled. That way he knows that it was lined up, and then secure it. Double check it when you're all said and done, and connect the drain hose. So now this is that black tube that we initially hooked up to the faucet when we hooked up the red and the black. And then make sure we secure this loose one up out of the way so that's not a nuisance for the homeowner. You don't have to. Again, it depends on whatever setup you put, or however you decide to set this up underneath your kitchen cabinet. If your filtration system doesn't have to go in any specific spot, you could put it wherever you please. You just want it to be decently accessible, and sometimes next to your kitchen sink is your dishwasher and stuff like that. So you just need to make sure you're not drilling screws through that would puncture your dishwasher, whatever appliances may be in the area. So that was just the cover that Mike had just put on. Here he's going to turn on the water real quick, and we're going to pressurize the system and test it. And you'll actually see the cover he took back off just for while we turn on the water. He wanted to make sure that at the top of those filters there were no leaks or any issues. So bleed out your air from having the system shut down, or at least in our case we had drained down some water, and the initial punch of air and whatnot from your RO faucet might not be the steadiest stream. Sometimes it does take a little bit of time for the pressure to build up in that tank. But yeah, otherwise, guys, here we are. I'm just showing you a quick little video of how easy those filters are to remove and place. But yeah, you now have a new purified water system installed on your kitchen sink, and that's going to be some very fresh tap water. And if you guys have any questions, don't forget to leave your comments down below. Otherwise, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.